My name is Dr. Peter Grossman, and I am the director of the Grossman Burn Center at West Hills Hospital.
Thank you for doing this with us. What's Jay's status right now? What can you tell me about how he's doing?
So, Mr. Leno sustained significant injuries. The burns were very significant to his face and his hands and his chest. So I don't want to minimize the seriousness of his injuries, but I also want to emphasize that he's doing very well. He's got a very strong attitude. He's a very strong individual, and he's a person who really is looking to move forward, to try to find a way to get past this episode of his life and then to get back to doing what he normally likes to do, which is to be out there and entertain and be with the people. And I think at some point soon he'll get there, but I've had to tell him that for the time being, he needs to sit back and take care of Jay.
Yeah, he loves making people laugh. Obviously, how's his sense of humor? Is it there? How are his spirits?
You know, I think he would rather not be here. He's obviously concerned about what happened. He's really concerned about the people that he's committed to. I had to tell him that you'll be there, but you've got to please just take care of yourself. That being said, he's very compliant with whatever we ask him to do. His spirits are good. He understands the seriousness of what he's gone through, but he also realizes what the injury is. He needs to get through it. In the process of being here, he's been incredibly kind and appreciative to the nursing staff and everybody else who's been taking care of him. He's gone around and been joking with the staff. He's helped deliver cookies to some of the pediatric patients that are here in the ward. So we've been very appreciative of what he's done to lighten the environment here in the Burn Center.
Now, what percentage of his face was burned when he came in?
His burns included the lower half of his face, his cheeks, and his chin, and his ears, and his neck.
So you spoke about having him in a hyperbaric chamber to help alleviate some of the burns from going from second to third degree burns. How much time does he spend in a hyperbaric chamber?
He's in the hyperbaric chamber about 2 hours a day, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon.
And you spoke about his first surgery that was performed earlier this week. You guys gave him skin grafts. What can you tell me about that process?
The process that Jay went is a process that virtually all patients who have significant burn injuries go through. They are put to sleep so that we minimize pain, and then we have to remove the unhealthy tissue. And you remove the unhealthy tissue through a number of different ways, a process known as debridement. And sometimes that's scrubbing it down, and sometimes it's shaving it down. The deeper areas of burn have to be removed a little bit more aggressively. And then once the unhealthy tissue is removed, we put a temporary biological dressing, in this situation, human cadaver skin, to create an environment in which his body can be stimulated to heal. But that's only temporary and has to be removed. And then ultimately he'll need a definitive layer of tissue to help him heal as quickly as possible with his minimal negative effects. And that's what our game plan is going forward.
Are you able to say how many surgeries he'll need at this point, or is that a case-by-case basis?
At this point, it's a little bit premature to determine how many surgeries he will need. Our hope is that we'll be able to get him home soon. After that, there'll be some follow-up. He has a great team of personal physicians and friends, and hopefully we'll be able to be part of his healing process. And I think hopefully when everything's all said and done, he'll do quite well.
Is there a chance that Jay could have permanent disfigurement from these injuries?
It's a little too early to tell what's going to happen. It's always possible in burn injuries, especially when you have significant damage from the situation as he did. Hopefully with aggressive care and a little bit of good luck, we'll be able to get him through this with minimal long-term effects. But unfortunately at this point, I just can't give you a definitive answer.
Is there a typical length of time that patients that come in with Jay's type of injuries that it takes them to heal as fully as they're going to heal?
Burn injuries go through a long process for the road to recovery, depending on the severity and depth of the injury. Some people can heal relatively quickly if the injuries are superficial. Some end up developing scarring over several months, and then it takes several years to get them to a point of maximal improvement. So it's really an individual, case-by-case basis in which we make a determination on that. Our hope is that Jay will do well quickly, but again, at this point, it's a little too early to tell.
Yeah. It might be tough to say at this point. How long do you think he'll need to stay here in the center for?
We hope to get him out soon, but we need to get him through the process, and he understands that our goal is to get the maximal improvement that we can, and he's patient enough, but certainly pushing us to move forward as quickly as we can. So we're trying to get our best results, but also realize that Jay, as everybody, wants to get home as soon as we can. Hopefully as soon as we have a little bit more information as to how he's healing, we'll be able to answer that question.